Queen Elizabeth II's collection included numerous historic and magnificent tiaras, many of which are famed for their beauty and royal history. Throughout her 70-year reign on the British throne, Queen Elizabeth wore some of the most remarkable royal tiaras of all time. While her collection included rubies from Burma and aquamarines from Brazil, it's Queen Elizabeth's historic natural diamond diadems that remain unmatched. The royal vaults are filled to the brim with regal finery. While Queen Elizabeth inherited diamond tiaras from Queen Victoria, Queen Alexandra, and her grandmother, Queen Mary, she also commissioned pieces of her own, adding to the family's glittering legacy of heirlooms. The late Queen Elizabeth's jewels are not only some of the most valuable and spectacular of any collection, but intimately linked to our memories of this outstanding monarch. The tiaras the Queen wore were a mix of the crown jewels that are held in trust for the crown and passed from monarch to monarch, as well as her own jewels that are her personal property. I have selected 10 majestic and dazzling tiaras that are associated with the 70-year reign of Queen Elizabeth. Each of these holds a memory of this remarkable woman who was part of all of our lives. But let's start with the crowns that she wore at her coronation, the most important moment in her public life. Crowns are the jewels most intrinsically linked to royalty, so the number one jewel is the imperial state crown that the Queen wore departing from her coronation. 3 different crowns were used during the Queen's coronation in June 1953. In order of appearance they were the Imperial State Crown, St. Edward's Crown and the Diamond Diadem. The Imperial State Crown is the crown we most closely associate with her as a ruler, as it is the one she wore out of Westminster Abbey. Although the St. Edward's Crown was used for the actual crowning, the Imperial State Crown has been worn more often and captured in all its glory in Cecil Beaton's most famous portrait of the Queen at her coronation. The Imperial State Crown was made by Garrard and Company for the 1937 coronation of Elizabeth's father, George VI. To make it more suitable for the petite 5 4-inch Queen, alterations by Garrard included lowering the arches of the crown as well as resizing the band. The Imperial State Crown is set with some of the most spectacular gems in the crown jewels, the 317.4-carat Cullinan II diamond, as well as the Stuart sapphire and the Black Prince's ruby. The Imperial State Crown and St. Edward's Crown are part of the crown jewels that are kept at the Tower of London. The diamond diadem is from the Queen's own collection and stored in a vault, along with her other jewels, under Buckingham Palace. The diamond diadem was created for George IV's coronation in 1821. This crown was made by Rundell, Bridge and Rundell in 1820 and is set with 1,333 diamonds and a pale yellow diamond inside the front cross, all resting on a pearl and diamond bandeau. The motifs of the thistle, rose and shamrock are symbols of Scotland, England and Ireland, and therefore symbolic of the unity of the nation. The diamond diadem follows the Imperial State Crown in fame as the Queen wore it on her way to her coronation as well as in 1952 to the first state opening of Parliament of her reign. Since then, the Queen has worn it to every state opening, making it a highly visible jewel. The Queen is shown wearing this diadem on some British stamps, making it instantly recognizable around the world. The Girls of Great Britain and Ireland Tiara. After the diamond diadem, the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland Tiara is one of the most recognizable jewels from the Queen's own collection. The Queen wore the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland Tiara on some Bank of England and Commonwealth currency notes and coins, making it one of the most iconic jewels in her collection. Commissioned as a wedding present for the Duchess of York, later Queen Mary, from the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland Committee, led by Lady Eva Greville. The original design was a festoon and scroll design, originally featuring 9 large oriental pearls on diamond spikes, set on a bandeau base. In 1914, Queen Mary had the tiara modified by Garrard and Company. The original pearls were removed and used for her lover's knot tiara, while 13 diamonds from a dismantled tiara were added to the top. The pearls were replaced with diamonds, and the bandeau base was made separable. The tiara is a combination of diamonds set in silver and gold, featuring a central motif of fleur-de-lis. In 1947, Queen Mary gifted the tiara to her granddaughter, Princess Elizabeth, as a wedding present. In 1969, Queen Elizabeth II had the detachable base of the tiara reunited with the rest of the piece after it had been separated for many years, creating its current full height. The tiara remains in the royal collection and has been worn by Queen Camilla since Queen Elizabeth II's passing. Queen Alexandra's Kokosnik tiara. Queen Alexandra, the wife of Queen Victoria's eldest son, Edward VII, was presented with a grand tiara of diamond by 365 peeresses as a silver wedding anniversary present. The tiara was crafted by the British court jewellers Garrard in 1888. Alexandra was known for her highly fashionable taste, and the tiara is a fringe or Kokosnik-style tiara, which was inspired by traditional Russian headdresses and the design of a similar tiara owned by Alexandra's sister, Empress Maria Feodorovna of Russia. The vertical bars of diamonds give it a striking, wall of diamonds or sunray effect. It is made of platinum and originally contained over 400 perfectly matched diamonds set across 61 graduating vertical bars. The two largest diamonds each weigh 3.25 carats. The piece was designed with versatility in mind and can be removed from its frame to be worn as a magnificent necklace. The tiara is a British royal family heirloom, and has been worn by 4 British queens and currently belongs to the monarch, King Charles III, as part of the royal collection. Queen Alexandra was the original recipient. Queen Mary, Alexandra's daughter-in-law, who inherited the tiara in 1925 and wore it often, including in her official 80th birthday portrait. Queen Mary bequeathed the tiara to her granddaughter Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. Queen Elizabeth wore it frequently throughout her reign at numerous state banquets and diplomatic events. The current Queen Consort Camilla debuted the tiara at a state banquet in December 2024, making her the 4th queen to wear this historic piece. Due to its intricate craftsmanship, historical provenance, and its status as an heirloom of the British royal family, experts are reluctant to assign a precise market price. However, sources estimate its value to be in the region of tens of millions of pounds, with some estimates placing it at over £4 million, or approximately £575,000 in 1888 value. Grand Duchess Vladimir tiara. Grand Duchess Vladimir of Russia was, at the time of the Russian Revolution, one of the wealthiest members of the imperial royal family, with an enormous jewelry collection. When she had to flee St. Petersburg during the revolution, she left her enormous collection of jewels hidden in a safe, which were then later smuggled out of the country in 2 Gladstone bags by a British diplomat. The Grand Duchess died before she was reunited with the jewels, and her daughter, Princess Nicholas of Greece, decided to sell some pieces in the 1920s. Queen Mary was an enthusiastic buyer of the Grand Duchess' most famous tiara, made by Bolin in the form of diamond loops with swinging pearls. The tiara's original design featured 15 interlocking diamond set circles, a ring tiara, from which hung large, oscillating oriental pearl drops. Upon acquiring the slightly damaged tiara, Queen Mary had the British royal jeweller Garrard repair and modify it in 1924. The modification allowed the original pearl pendants to be removed and replaced with a set of 15 cabochon emerald drops from her own collection, known as the Cambridge Emeralds. This made the tiara remarkably versatile, as it could be worn in 3 ways: with pearls, with emeralds, or without any drops at all. In 1988, the tiara's frame was completely remade in white gold/platinum by Garrard to ensure its stability. From Queen Mary, the tiara has been passed down through generations of the British royal. Queen Elizabeth II inherited the tiara in 1953 and frequently wore it throughout her reign, often in the emerald setting. It was reportedly one of her favourites. The tiara is a part of the British crown jewels, which belong to the nation and are held in trust by the monarch. The current Queen Consort, Camilla, is expected to be the next wearer of this historic piece. With its timeless beauty and association with Russian royalty, this tiara is estimated to be worth $50 million. Queen Mary's Diamond and Pearl Lovers Knot Tiara. Queen Mary had a diamond and pearl lovers knot tiara made in the 1913 to replicate a much older piece owned by her beloved aunt, the Grand Duchess of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. Mary's modern version was made of older stones in her collection and became one of her most worn pieces in later years, created by Wolff Co for the royal jewel Garrard for Queen Mary. The tiara is made of diamonds and pearls set in gold and silver. It features 19 upright diamond arches with a hanging Baroque pearl drop on each. The design includes lover's knot bows. An original row of upright pearls was later removed. Elizabeth II inherited the tiara in 1953 and wore it on a few occasions during the early years of her reign. It has become most closely associated with Princess Diana, who was loaned the tiara during the course of her marriage to Prince Charles. As the British royal family heirloom tiara, the piece is now worn by Kate Middleton to state banquets and diplomatic receptions. Queen Mary's Fringe Tiara. Queen Mary owned a number of fringe tiaras, but the one that has come to have most significance was made in 1913. This iconic piece, worn by Queen Elizabeth II on her wedding day, is an integral part of the British royal collection. Crafted in 1919 by Wolff Co for Garrard, using diamonds from a necklace. The diamonds were originally part of Collingwood necklace gifted to Queen Mary by Queen Victoria, which she then transformed into this breathtaking tiara. The tiara features over 47 graduated bars of diamonds, creating a stunning fringe effect. It was designed to be a convertible piece, meaning it can also be worn as a necklace. The design is inspired by the halo-shaped silhouette of the Russian Kokosnik headdress. Queen Mary gave the tiara to her daughter-in-law, Queen Elizabeth, later the Queen Mother, in 1936. In 1947, Elizabeth the Queen Mother loaned this tiara to her daughter Princess Elizabeth to wear at her wedding to Prince Philip. As the bride was getting ready to leave for Westminster Abbey, the tiara broke on its frame and the diamond spikes flopped loose. The crown jeweler was sent for to make a quick repair, and all was well by the time the vows were made. The tiara is worn by Queen on many official occasions. The Queen loaned the tiara to her daughter Princess Anne for her marriage in 1973 and also to her granddaughter Princess Beatrice for her wedding in 2020. As the British family heirloom piece, the Queen Mary's Fringe Tiara has not estimated any price value. It is priceless. Sapphire Tiara. The Queen Elizabeth Sapphire Tiara, also known as the Belgian Sapphire Tiara, the original necklace from which it was made was owned by Princess Louise of Belgium, daughter of King Leopold II. The necklace was acquired by Queen Elizabeth II in an auction in the early 1950s or 1960s. Queen Elizabeth commissioned the royal jewellers Garrard to set the necklace onto a tiara frame to create a matching headpiece for her sapphire parure in 1963 that was a wedding gift from her father, King George VI, in 1947. The tiara features a design of sapphires and diamonds set on a platinum frame. Its design incorporates large cushion-shaped and pear-shaped sapphires surrounded by clusters of diamonds, with diamond swags connecting the elements. The gems that now stand upright were originally articulated drops when the piece was a necklace. Queen Elizabeth owned the tiara for many decades and wore it frequently for state occasions. Following her death in September 2022, the tiara became part of the crown property, passing to her eldest son, King Charles III, as the reigning monarch. It is currently on loan to and worn by Queen Camilla on many important occasions. Brazilian Aquamarine Tiara. In 1953, the people of Brazil made a gift of diamond and aquamarine jewels to Queen Elizabeth to mark her coronation. Throughout the early years of her reign, more aquamarines and diamonds were given on special occasions such as state visits, and eventually the Queen had the crown jewelers adapt some of them to form a grand modern tiara. The tiara features includes platinum setting, multiple aquamarine stones, and diamond ornaments, with the centerpiece being a large emerald-cut aquamarine. In 1971, it was enlarged by adding a new central ornament and 4 fan-shaped motifs, using stones from a gift of aquamarine and diamond hair ornaments. The tiara is part of a larger parure that includes a bracelet and brooch, also gifts from Brazil. One of the most impressive tiaras in terms of design, the piece has become a favorite of the Queen in recent decades, having been worn to numerous important state occasions. Burmese Ruby Tiara. Another piece that the Queen commissioned herself, The Burmese ruby tiara was made during the 1970s from an older tiara given to the Queen as a wedding present in 1947. The tiara is one of the most modern pieces in the Queen's collection and was made by Garrard. The tiara is crafted in a wreath of roses design, inspired by the heraldic Tudor rose, Britain's national symbol. The rubies form the center of the flowers, while the diamonds create the petals, set in gold and silver. It contains 96 Burmese rubies and numerous diamonds. The rubies were originally part of a necklace given to Queen Elizabeth II as a wedding gift in 1947 by the people of Burma, now Myanmar. The diamonds were sourced from another wedding gift, the Nizam of Hyderabad tiara, which was dismantled to create this new piece. The 96 rubies are highly symbolic, representing the 96 diseases that Burmese culture believed could afflict the human body. The gems are thought to protect the wearer from sickness and evil. The tiara is currently owned by King Charles III, often worn by Queen Camilla of events. Due to the rarity and quality of the Burmese rubies and its royal provenance, the tiara is a highly valuable piece. It is estimated to be worth between $6.4 million, £5 million, and $13 million. Oriental Circlet Tiara. The Oriental Circlet tiara was commissioned by Prince Albert for Queen Victoria in 1853, with a design inspired by Mughal arches and lotus flowers. Originally set with 17 Mughal arches, lotus flowers, opals, and 2,600 diamonds, the opals were later replaced with rubies by Queen Alexandra, who believed opals were unlucky. She also reduced the number of arches to 11. The tiara was left to the crown in Queen Victoria's will for future queens to use. It became a favorite of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. Queen Elizabeth II inherited the tiara after her mother's death in 2002 and has worn it only once for a state visit to Malta.